What's going on, good people, man? It's your boy Byron Scott back with Cordero, and today we're going to be talking about you. There's a lot of people who want to be in a different place in life, want to be, you know, there's places that you really want to be in life, and there's where you are right now. And a lot of people sit there and just talk about what they want to do, what they want to be, when they get this, when they get that, but they never take any action toward that. 8 years I was trying to get into real estate, never made a move, right? Until it was like, man, I owe it to myself to at least take a little action, right? It cost me $100 to take some action. I owe myself that $100 to go out there and be able to take that action. I spent 8 years trying to get in, but I was unwilling to bet on myself. I'm willing to put myself out there, right? A lot of people look at me even now like, man, is he gonna make it? Man, is he gonna be able to? Man, there's a recession. Is he gonna be, you know, he gonna be back? It's like, man, you got to bet on you, man. At some point, you owe you. So we're gonna be talking about that today, man. Got my guy Cordero in the building. How you
Yo,
feeling, man?
hey, I'm feeling like it's a tiny man inside my head right now. And he's auditioning for the Drumline Part 2 movie. But other than that, man, honestly, feeling good, dude. Still, again, we coming out on a late tip tonight, this evening. So I'm feeling good. And I think this topic, again, like I was talking with Byron before we got on here, like this topic really just like it just resonates with anything. I think the against all odds concept resonates with anything you're trying to do, but realizing that you owe it to yourself, that it's not going, that nobody gonna give it to you, that it don't matter, it don't depend on no circumstances, no environment, it doesn't depend on anybody but you owing it to you, and you paying that cost, and you paying up is ultimately what it boils down to. I think, this topic got me excited. It resonates, it hits, and I'm ready to, what I'm saying, let's really dive into this.
Yeah, for sure, man. We're gonna shout out Ali, man, for coming through, man. Shout
Oh,
out to
Ali.
Ali,
John Doe.
man. John Doe coming through. My people on YouTube, what's up, man? Um, but yeah, man. Man, when I think about this, like I used to watch UOU's turn come from Eric Thomas, man. If you don't know, he writes a book called UOU. I'm gonna put the books in the notes and in the comments. I mean, in the description below, where you can go get it. Um, but you owe you this concept, man. And today we're going to talk about that concept, but also going to talk about, ways that you can take action. Later on, we'll talk about ways that you can take action to try to, do that thing, right? That thing that you really want to do, that place you want to get. And I was just talking to Cordero before we jumped on, man. It was like, man, one thing I felt like I owed my mama and my daddy was to go ahead and get that house for them, because my mama was 30. Seemed like my whole life she was talking about getting a house, man. And it
Dude.
was like I owed, like, I need to cash her out. You know what I'm saying? And this video Eric Thomas make, it's like you owe you, man. I listen to it every day when I was going and trying to get where I am or trying to get into a better place. I used to listen to that video all the time. It's like you sit around and you wait 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 for something to happen for the right time. You know what I'm saying? You wait for yourself to get over your own fears. And it's like, nah, dude, such and such don't owe it to you. This other person owe it to you. Ain't nobody else owe you nothing, right? Nobody owe you nothing. And you can't wait on nobody else for your success. You owe it to yourself, right? You owe it to the people that you love. You owe it to your mama, your daddy, your sisters, your kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I told Cordero about it, it's like, dude, if I didn't go do this, my kids gonna have to go do it, right? They're gonna look at our position and be like, man, I guess I gotta go. I guess I gotta. It's like, dude, nah, I'm gonna put it on me, right? and I'm gonna push this thing as far as I can. You know what I'm saying? And knock down as much as I can because like I owe it to myself and I owe it
Yeah.
to my family to push this family as far as we can, not just financially, health wise, spiritually,
Right.
just mentally, emotionally, to try to advance. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm trying to advance in all these different areas, trying to advance my family in all these different areas. So that's what the UOU was to me, like mentally what I was thinking about as I was going through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude, you bring up a lot of great points. One of my favorite being, and this is something I tell myself, but this is also something I just mentioned to a lot of people, and kind of following your journey as well, paying attention to it is something that stuck out to me. But it's like you owe you, but there's something that comes out of this that other people are going to benefit from too, regardless of what you're thinking about now. I think in the beginning, a lot of us are thinking about, I need to get myself in a certain situation. I need to get myself in a certain financial standing, mental, physical, spiritual standing, and wherever it is, if you're on a weight loss journey, if you're trying to gain weight, if you're on a spiritual journey, and so forth, you think about yourself first. And honestly, that's the right thing to do because you can't pour from an empty cup. But there are going to be people who benefit from it, mainly your family and just the people that are around you in your immediate reach. There's going to be people that you might not even think about. I don't know if you grew up in the South, there's a saying that we got that people love to hit you with. It's like, man, I was doing that before you was even thought of. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They look at you like, oh, man, I've been on that since before you was even thought of. And honestly, it's a crazy idea, but there's somebody right now that Byron hasn't even thought of, whether it's his grandchildren, great grandchildren, that's going to benefit from the work that he's putting in today, that he just thought he owed himself, but in reality, it's going to trickle down. Sometimes you inherit blessings, and it's from the seeds that we plant today. There's some people I ain't even thought of that the work that we putting in today, that us taking the time to invest in Facebook ads today, us taking the time to invest in cold calling or being up late hours, even, investing into this or whatever. It's like people in our family tree that we ain't even thought of yet because they ain't even exist yet that's going to benefit. It's probably some people out there. It's like as we continue to build our brand and continue to do all of these things, it's people that we don't even know exist on this planet that will benefit from the work that we're putting in. And likewise, if you're listening to this, you need to start thinking about, dang, I owe me. But once I pay up, who else is going to benefit from it? Who else is going to be able to get something out of this? Because there will be many people, a lot more than you ever even thought of. So that's one thing. But in the context of UOU, I think, like he was saying, it's just like, because I had just actually right before we jumped on here, I had a conversation with my mother, and I completely agree with the sentiment that Byron says. It's just like, dog, I should have been I feel bad. I should have been cashed Granny out. And definitely you want to get to a place where you cash your mom out. And I don't think it's necessarily supposed to be like that. I think the wealth is supposed to go down. Like my kids are supposed to inherit it, et cetera, and so on. But if you the first in your family, you the first in your family, period. If you the one that's going to change the trajectory of the way things have gone in your family, then it's you and it's on you and you owe it to you, honestly. Because my thought is, if you can see it, if you're in a position like, man, I really want to do something more, and that's really on your heart and on your mind and your thought process, then there's a reason that it's there, though. It's a reason that you got that vision or that you got that at your, because there's people who don't even see nothing wrong with not paying that price. There's people who still ain't even woke up to the idea that maybe this ain't this dead end job and sitting around doing drugs all day and sitting around just sitting back chilling and not really giving it my all, giving myself my all. Maybe that's not even a problem. They ain't even open their eyes to that's a problem. And so the fact that you're even aware of it, regardless of how far you've gotten along in the process, the fact that you're even aware of it says a lot about what you owe yourself. And so I think you owe you, dog. And I would say the biggest thing, those are some inherent points about it, but I think the biggest thing is the fact that you owe it to you, and ain't nobody else gonna give it to you, dude. You can't rely on nobody. You can't wait on student loan forgiveness. You can't wait on the next PPP loan. You can't wait on stimulus checks. None of that. You can't wait on that. You can't wait on in the economy. That's why we have this. You owe you against all odds. You know what I mean? You owe you in spite of what's coming, what's in your favor and what's not in your favor. You owe you in spite of what's working against you. And so there's just a certain level of, and honestly, dude, like I said, I was just talking to my mom. I want to be able to cash my mom out, but I was talking to her. There's a certain level of giving her that empowerment that, mom, you can, yes, at some point, someday, I want to be able to buy you a house and you never have to worry about anything. I retired you, but there's something that only you can do for yourself. There's a price that only you can pay because it's yours to pay, and only you can pay it. And so that's what really the you owe you mindset, or the concept, means to me, is just, it's like there's a some things only you can do for yourself. And honestly, you got to do it though. Let's stop being, I say it all the time. I think Byron be laughing at me, but I'll be like, I think if you believe that you were meant for greater, or if you have greater on your heart and you working at a factory, you're a mouth breather, dude. You're wasting time.
But hey, I put it like this though. I mean, at some point, like most people at some point, I think almost everybody at some point was mouth breathing.
Real talk. Yeah.
Was mouth breathing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I taught for 12 years. Like, what was in me was greater than that. I was mouth breathing. You know what I'm saying? I was sitting there just chilling. You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting there just chilling. It's like, and a lot of times I think like, dude, doing that, to me, it was like selfish. It was like, yeah, I can sit here and work this job. I got benefits. I got pretty good pay. You know what I'm saying? I could work my 30 years, be done, chill. But it's like, dude, what about my kids? What about my wife? Not even that. It's like, a lot of people think that, why do I want more? It's like, why do you need more? Why do you want more? It's like, dude, the impact you can have on other people, the good that you create. It's like, dude, like you said, it's you owe you, but what about the rest of the people? What about the people that's just like me, that didn't think they could make it? Who thought just because, and really, like in 9th grade, I failed 4 classes, should have failed 5. I thought I went academically good, so it was like, oh, I ain't gonna be this, or I ain't gonna be that. I thought, oh, I can't go to college, man. Ain't no way. The people who didn't think that they can reach a certain level, it's like, what about the rest of the people who thought like me? You know what I'm saying? It's like, what about them? What about the other people that was in your spot that didn't make it as far as you did right now? How you gonna reach those people? How you gonna help those people? It's like, there's more people out here that need good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's not just you just thinking I need enough for just me. Like that's too selfish. At least for me it was. You know what I'm saying? For me it was like, okay, how do I impact the next joker? How do I go tell the next joker who regular, who average, that hey, you can go build 2 6-figure businesses, right? That you can go be this, you can go be that, you can go be even greater. You can go way past anything I ever thought of. Even if you average, even if you ain't got the greatest skills, even if you ain't academically great, even if the people ain't raving about what you're going to be, you know what I'm saying? It's like, most people think that just the people that people rave about, oh, those people going to be successful. Like kids grow up and it's like, they think that certain people going to be successful. And they think certain people going to be, he ain't going to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's based off, oh, you ain't getting good grades, or you don't look cool, or you don't act cool, or you ain't this, or you ain't that. That don't mean nothing. Or you just ain't got the skills. It's like, if you looked at me then, he's like, dude, this dude ain't got nothing. It's like, what he gonna do? It's like what is he really gonna do? You know what I'm saying? like I said, it's like to become a teacher was like, whoa, man, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? I go back and tell my high school teachers, like, man, I became teacher, like, whoa, you. It's like, and now teaching is beneath me. It's like that ain't even like not just in it, but I'm way beyond that now. Like I'm beyond teaching. Like I've done that. Like that's over. You know what I'm saying? It's like I done did that and I'm going on. I'm just saying, man, you I'm just saying, man, you can go way further than what you think you can. And other people can too. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we here. That's why we doing what we doing. Like letting people know, like, hey, you can go beyond what you think. And even us and what we think right now, we can go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, it's like, dude, we think about this stuff for other people, but we also think about this stuff for ourselves. Like we can go beyond that. You know what I'm saying? We got goals and aspirations and stuff that we want to do. You know, we owe it to ourselves to go and conquer the things that we want to conquer, just like you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, it's crazy, man. And some, like I said, some people got that burn. You know what I'm saying? Some people got it like it's burning.
Yeah.
But you just don't know what to do. You don't know how to let out. But you know it's burning. It's burning for you to do more. It's burning for you to make it happen. Ed Milet says like you have generations come, like you can look back. Like I look back generations, like who done something? You know, I'm saying not that nobody did anything, but who blew it all up?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, dude, there's generations and generations past, and then there's the one. You know what I'm saying? There's the one. There's the one that freaking that joker go nuts and change everything.
Yeah.
Right. It's like what a name Martin in Tennessee is. They're like, hold on, you related to them Martins? It's like, you know it's like there's one that comes and change everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like dude, you just had that feeling like, man, I gotta be the one. You know what I'm saying?
Like Cardone will mean something. Like in a couple like 50 years, oh, you a Cardone? That's gonna mean something.
Exactly.
A Milet, a Dempsey, a James Dempsey, that's gonna mean something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But you gotta be willing to pay that price. You gotta be willing to. You owe you. That means it's a price that comes along with it. And to kind of expand, because it's just like, there's people that you're not even thinking about. If you just think about yourself, and honestly, because like Byron talks about it all the time, I remember you would say, it's just like, I'd be fine. I just be chilling. Like I'm cool. I'm actually a very simple dude myself. Like I would be okay with just a nice little crib in my hometown and in a 2002 Camaro catfish body. All black, simple dude. I don't need nothing crazy. But what about when you think about business, when you create a business, you're providing value to people. And there's a customer, there's a consumer, there's a person, and let's make it specific to our business. There is a seller out there with a problem that only you can find a solution for, but you're not doing it. You're not putting your time and you're not paying that cost. You're not building your skill set. You're not going over your obstacles. You're not investing in the marketing to reach that person to help them. They need there's people, I think we look at and we really highlight the deals that we go through like, we made this amount of money. We put this deal together. But that was a situation like the deal we went through last week with the Hickson property. Dude, she couldn't find another buyer. She couldn't. Yeah. That's one thing that she wasn't wanting to tell us, but it's like we had a specific solution for her problem. And because we decided to get out of our situation, because I also was a mouth breather, you know what I'm saying, sitting back, living below what my true volume was, like what I was really able to do. I was just chilling. I was complacent, but I was trying. I had that burn. But because I took the step, I was able to help her. And there's many others that we've been able to help and many other more that we are going to be able to help. But this is business. The value that you provide when you create a business is much more than just the money you get in your pockets. You're actually touching your community. And so ultimately, you're going to change your family life, but you're going to change your community by providing value. If you open up a restaurant in an area that don't got that type of food, you providing meals for these people. Not just making money as owning a restaurant owner. You're providing meals. You're solving problem. At the end of the day, money is a direct relation to the value you provide in this society. That's what it is. That's all it's a representation of the value. The people who have the most money provide the most value. Jeff Bezos. Think about, has anybody listening to this ever got anything off of Amazon? Ever? You know what I mean? It's like we've all benefited from Amazon directly or indirectly. Maybe you work for Amazon. That's another thing. It's like by building your business, you get to put people in position and create an actual machine for them to attach themselves and devote their time to. Because Byron got out of his position, made the sacrifice, pushed, paid the price. Now Laura has a position that she can be attached to. Like Laura is benefiting from this. And any other VAs that we bring on to, because it's like I get to benefit from the things that Byron has put in place, and you will be able to touch a lot more people than just yourself, but you got to be willing to pay that price. And by the way, I think you're absolutely right, Byron, when you say like there are people who are in those positions, because I'm always giving people hard times. It's like at some point you're gonna be a mouth breather. At some point you're gonna be. Your potential is up here, but you living below your potential because you just ain't took the risk yet. You ain't took the step out to pay the price yet. But if you got that burn in you, I'm wanting to sting. I'm adding a little bit more sizzle to the fire, dude, because I was there. I knew I was meant for greater, but I wasn't giving I wasn't putting my foot on the gas like I should have. And so I'm speaking to you from a place of understanding, not even at a place of judgment, because I know I'm going to tell you this, dog. You still working your 9 to 5? Okay, cool. You got responsibilities. You got a family. I understand that. But at some point, your family will benefit from you taking the risk that you say you can't make because you got a family. It's like, dude, don't do that. It's like,
yeah, I forgot who said it, but it's like, dude, the risk, you ain't taking a risk going out here trying to make more money. Yeah. The risk is not going to make more money. Like, that's the real risk. Like, I was sitting there working my job, and next thing you know, they talking about cuts.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you think you safe. I'm just going to keep working my job. I ain't going to go out here and, try to start that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take no risk. Until the job talking about cutting people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then what? Until something happened to somebody and you really don't need to show up to that job every single day. Then what? You know what I'm saying? When something happened to somebody in your family and you need to be there for them, then what?
Yeah.
It's like the risk is just sitting around. The risk is not having the freedom of time.
Yeah.
The risk is not having the freedom of finances. Like, that's the real risk.
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? Not being in a position to take care of the people that you need to take care of is the real risk. Like, that's the real risk. The real risk is all these other people that you're supposed to be impacting and you ain't even impacting. The real risk is never becoming the person that you really wanted to become. That's the real risk. And then next thing you know, you old as crap, laying on your back. And you ain't never became the person you wanted to become.
Dog.
And you only had one chance to do it. You only had one chance to do it. And you ain't even take the risk. People like, hey, what if you fail? Like, what if you fail? What if you fail? What if you don't make? Like, what happened? What happened to you? It's like, dude, what about the recession? What about people ain't buying houses? It's like, man, that ain't even crossing my brain.
Really?
Like, dude, that's not even like, it ain't even crossing my brain, man. Like, well, I tell you, that's not an option. That's off the table.
That's off. Yeah. That's off the table. Talk about the cost of regret. You know what I'm saying? I ain't died yet, but they say that. But I will, and I got a feeling. I got a feeling that said I just joined, but I got a feeling that'll sting more than anything. Is sitting there thinking, knowing. That's the hard part about this, is knowing that I had something to offer. I could have offered a unique perspective on this whole business thing. I could have been the one because I had it on me. There's a difference. It's like if you don't ever see it, then you can't envision it. If I don't ever show you a postcard of what California looked like and the sun and the beaches, then fine. But and you never even heard of it, and you just grew up in Shelbyville, Tennessee all your life, that's fine. But if you know what Cali looked like, and you know, like you heard they got some good food and the sun and the beaches, and you just never went just cause, then you're gonna have to die with that. Not live with it. You're gonna have to die with it, right? And so ultimately, that's the real risk. Ultimately, you're going for not going for it when you know that you need to, and you keep watching us, and we talking about, hey, we doing deals and we expanding while other people contracting, and we telling you all you got to do is this, and you just like, man, that's crazy. And you listen and you feel inspired, but when it comes time to the wire for you to actually take action, and you never actually buy PropStream, you never actually pull a list, you never actually buy the dialer and pay that $200 a month for the dialer and start calling because you like, it's a risk, dude. It's a risk not doing all of that, sitting in your position and never going for it, never actually. What do you do? Stuff frustrates me, dude. You gain nothing. It's a risk not going for it. It's a risk sitting there wasting your life away. It's living the weekends like that was what life was about. It was about having Saturday off and Sunday off. That's not life. That's not living, dude. Byron just went on vacation on a Monday, dude. You know what I mean? And I did real talk. He was like, man, we just decided. I'm like, dude, that's something that growing up, I think I used to tell people I didn't go on my first vacation until I was 22, but I forgot. We did go to Ohio one time. We went to Cedar Point to go see my auntie because she lives in Ohio. So I went on one vacation all the way up until I was 22. And then I went on a vacation. So y'all got to understand what, like, some people don't even have that. Now Byron's kids get to like experience, oh, we're going to go just, even if it's just to go to the beach. We didn't get none of that. Vacation was going to my auntie house in Shelbyville, across town. That was vacation where all the kids, and that's where all the kids get dropped off at your auntie house. And we all out there. And that was vacation because we all in the same place. And we all got to play the video game. So it's like, dude, it's like, that's living for the weekend, and you barely get it. And then you go, dude, come on, man, push yourself. If you know it, you owe you. Real talk. If the seed is already there and it's been planted inside you, dog, you owe you. You heard they say it costs to be the boss. There's a reason. And it's not just money we talking. It's not, when they say it costs to be the boss, they're not just saying the boss pay the most, but the boss do pay the most. But the boss also take the most risk. The boss also has the most, is the most susceptible to any sort of danger, whether it's lawsuits, audits, and problems, reverberation from the problems, the backlash, the tarnished name, the tarnished reputation. The boss got to deal with all of that. But again, then you the boss. Then you get all of the reward. You get the greater things. And let's be real, the best things in life are usually the hardest things to do. The best things in life are usually the toughest things, the things that take a time. It ain't some stuff you can just walk out your door and go get. The best things in life usually take some real planning, putting things in place, and then coming back to them if we're being real about it. And so when they say it costs to be the boss and you owe you got to really process that and really determine what is it that you want out of life. And that's all I'm saying. I'm talking to the people who've determined that they want greater, but you ain't doing that yet. Now you really owe you in debt to you. Never mind the debt you could go in for business. There are people who go in debt to start their business with they put a last penny off into a well, into a wishing well is what it seemed like. It's like, I'm dropping, please make something. They putting their last dollar off into something, but they owe themselves. And the risk of that not working out was a lot greater than the risk of never trying in the first place. And honestly, it's like what you get out of that when you get back, all of the stuff in between is about where you start at, where you at now, and where you end up. And everything in between is not going to matter. It's not. You're not going to be thinking about it. You're going to be where you at, sitting at the top of the mountain. And so Ultimately, man, I believe you owe you in all facets of life. And we're talking about starting a business. We're talking about taking that leap to go ahead and invest in a dialer, invest in a marketing prospecting plan. That way you can start generating leads in this business. But what if it's, again, a weight loss plan? When I was younger, when I was in high school, I was extremely overweight. I was overweight. And there was a time where, again, I was listening to Eric Thomas heavy every day, daily. I was listening to Eric Thomas. And I told myself, you know what? I'm tired of being perceived a certain way. It's not even that. I realize now, especially as a man, I mean, just in general, but it's like being overweight, it's not, if you cool with it, you cool with it. I know some cool dudes that, got some weight on them and that's their persona. And honestly, without weight, they would probably be different people. They probably wouldn't be themselves, but that's them. But me, I didn't feel like that was me. I didn't feel like I was an obese person. I didn't feel like that. I was just like, this ain't me. And I woke up and I realized I owe myself. And so what I told myself, and when folks say rain, sleet, or snow, I mean rain, sleet, or snow. I told myself every single day I'm going to run a mile. I wasn't worried about no shin splints. I wasn't worried about what it was doing outside. I'm talking about I ran a mile when it was raining outside and the track was flooded. I lived with my grandmama at the time. And behind my grandmother's house, there was an elementary school that I actually used to attend when I was in elementary school, but they had built this track. And I remember from when I was going to that school, they built it while I was there. And they said, oh, it's a big thing about the school. They're building it. It's a 1/4 mile track. So you run 4 times around this track, you get a mile. And I was like, I remember thinking when I was a kid, like, that's crazy. But I knew it at that time. I was like in high school. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to that track and every day I'm gonna do 4 miles. And it wasn't the best built, but 4 laps to make a mile. I said, no matter what. And now I could run more than a mile or whatever. And I know to some people, oh, just 1 mile. But to me at that time, that was a lot, dude. That was the next step to greatness right there. But I said it wasn't even just about how much. It was the simple fact that I said every day. I'm talking about Sunday through Sunday. I'm running that mile. It was raining and it flooded on the track often. I'm running my shoes are soaking wet. It was snowing when it got cold out because Tennessee snows sometimes. It was hot and humid. And I don't know how long I did it, but I said daily I'm running that mile until once I established consistency doing that, I start getting off into the gym and start getting more into fitness and stuff like that. But I was dedicated. I'm putting on my Eric Thomas, and I don't care. Even if I was going to go hang out with my friends, I'm like, y'all, give me a second. Let me go run my mile, and then I'm going to get in the shower, and then we're going to get ready. Y'all can come scoop me, and we can go do our thing. But I'm not giving up. I owe myself this because I don't believe that I'm overweight. I don't believe that. I didn't believe that. And even now, I might need to get back on the mile, but running more, just get more consistent. But at that point, nothing could pull me off. It was just, but here's the thing. I wouldn't go in the daytime. I always went at night. At the end of the day, I would go at night. That would be the last thing I do, come back, shower, and go to sleep. That's just how I set it up because it was that isolated time where it was just between me and myself. And that's where you really get in tune with the UOU model, is when it's just you and you. It's just you and you out on that track, running through the rain. Nobody gonna see it. Nobody would know that unless I told people that. Nobody, not even my grandmother who I lived with. She didn't know that I was going to do that. You know what I'm saying? For as far as she was either at work or as far as she know, I'm just outside chilling or something like that. I'm just in the backyard. No, this was between me and me. And likewise, when it comes down to business, hey, look what Ali's doing. Ali's got a dialer. Let's give Ali a round of applause. It ain't gonna be that. It's just gonna be between you and you. It's only going to be between you and you when you make the decision to make that investment, if you hadn't already. And when you get off in the dialer, and whether it's first thing in the morning, it's in the middle of the day, it's in the night, right to the buzzer, you in that dialer, ain't nobody around. It's just me in that dialer. And it's an isolated between me and myself moment. But am I going to do it though? Are you going to stay consistent? Especially when nobody's holding you accountable. Are you actually going to do it when nobody's giving you an applause? And so when it comes down to the UOU mentality, there's a certain aura about embracing this that is between you and you. It's only for you. There's a certain price that has to be paid that only you can pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's shout some of these people out though, man. Speaking of Ali, Ali came through, man. What's up, Ali? John Doe always coming through, man.
James,
James,
got
man.
James
James
coming
coming
through.
through, man.
James, what you got? What you got in the pipeline, James? 5 pillars of faith: family, finance, fitness, and freedom. Absolutely. I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I think this dude that be with Eric Thomas, Jamal King or something like that right there. I think he had that. What's James, man? James be hitting us up.
Gang.
Who is that? Comlin. What's going on, man?
So what
Said what
marketing
market?
do you guys do?
We do texting and cold calling, and we finna hit up this Facebook ads, man.
We about to get
So
into
James,
that online stuff.
over here shooting streams, recording trainings for my new lead manager, text manager.
Yeah.
Okay, deal closed today in Snellville. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Racist
Yeah.
King.
King, hey man. So I said, James, what we got going on in the pipeline? James always got some heat working, man. I know you put
Yeah, James keeps some heat working, man. So Zay says, how everybody doing? I look forward to y'all live, no doubt, man. Hey, I was out on the road, man, but had to go ahead and shut it down and get on this live, man. I know my video stream audio don't look great, but had to get it in for sure.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, man. I mean, dude, you talk about like fitness. You know, people think that that we got to be finances or their goal is to make money. It's like, man, like when you're on a journey to try to do something, even if it's fitness, the other parts of your life has to get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you just don't get better in one spot. It's like the other parts of your life is going to get better, right?
Yeah.
Just because in order to get better at something, you have to learn to be more consistent. You have to learn to be more disciplined, and that stuff carries over into the other stuff that you do. So establishing some form of consistency, right? One, establishing a take action muscle. Because in order to get started with running a mile every day, you got to decide to go out there and run a mile.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I want to say something too, because you're making a good point. I want to say something like I can remember the first night I did it. It was weird. It was out of my comfort zone, and it was just kind of like it was almost like on some Forrest Gump type of stuff. I was just like I just felt like running, and I was just like, I'm going to do this every day, regardless, until I feel like I've done something. And that lasted probably like at least all 4 seasons, so probably a whole year, maybe more. But yeah, for sure, that was the first thing was like that take action, and then consistency.
That take action muscle, and then consistency. So first is establish the take action. The next thing is establishing consistency.
Yeah.
And once you take action and stay consistent, you're a dangerous person, right? You dangerous, right? You just became dangerous. If you take action, stay consistent, you just became dangerous at anything you do. It doesn't even matter what you're doing, right? Take action, stay consistent, and the last thing to do is decide that you are not going to stop, right? Stop. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to take action. It's one thing to be consistent.
Yeah.
But then here comes all the excuses, right? I'm not getting the results. So why am I going out here running this extra mile? I'm not getting any deals. Why am I staying on this dollar every day for 4 hours a day? I'm not doing it. I'm not seeing the results. You got to be willing to remain consistent without results. Regardless of the results. Because it's not the results, right? It's not about the destiny. It's about the discipline, right? It's about being disciplined. It's about doing what you're supposed to do. and those things are called the lead indicators, right?
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to lose weight, you just can't be worried about the weight. You got to worry
Yeah.
about the lead indicators. The lead indicators is, are you working out, right?
Yeah.
What are you eating? Those are lead indicators. You got to get excited about eating right. You got to get excited about working out
Yeah.
because the
Yeah.
results going to take care of itself. You got to get excited about getting on a dial and calling people. Like you got to get excited about the things that take action, the consistency. You got to get
Fueling.
excited about that.
Yeah. The doing part of it, because, and that's what I was gonna say is just like it costs to be the boss, but the costs don't stop. I forgot who said it. Somebody just like the price is hustle and the rent is due every day. It's like dude, it's not you get to a place. I think safely from where you start, if you starting off from sure nothing, you put it in, you establish the taking action, and then you establish the consistency muscle. You'll get to a place where things do tend to get easier. Like for example, with working out, I remember also too another thing. I taught myself how to count my macros. I was counting calories. I was doing it like stuff, and I ain't never did this. I ain't never had nobody show me this. If I just left it to my own environments and to the odds that were against me, I'd be I'd be extremely overweight by now, like way worse. Like my environment was feeding me terrible things. I had to tell my grandmama, hey, I'm not gonna eat what you made for dinner. And she getting offended. And also I'm turning down the cornbread, the homemade cornbread. That's hard. That's oh my goodness, y'all know how hard it is to turn down Granny cornbread. But I was like, Granny, I'm gonna eat this instead, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe Granny, can you make this? It's like as a teenager, you know what I mean? And so it was, but I stepped out and I established consistency until I got to a place. And then I started to focus on the lead indicators because one thing I learned is like it takes like what you do today. If you get out and start running today and you stay consistent for 6 months, what you do today, you'll see the results 6 months later, because it's a lot easier for folks. And it's depending on where you at. Sometimes it's 3 months later, but for the most part, you don't see the results until that you're doing today until a couple. So it's a lot easier once you start to see like the ridges of your abs coming in. You can start to see rips in your muscles and you like this, all that. Then you like, dude, I got the momentum or whatever. But before you see any of that, you putting in the work with no results. You got to put the work in alone by yourself. You running out there in the rain, and then you come back home, take a shower, and look in the mirror, and you still look the same. And you got to have the strength to keep going. And then after you get to a certain place, like Byron said, after you establish consistency, you got to make up your mind that you will not stop. You will keep going, because what you can do is that I can get to a place where I'm like, all right, I'm gonna run a mile. At some point, I need to add another mile, or at least another quarter mile. But I'm getting consistent with a mile every day. But at some point, it was going from 0 miles to 1 mile that changed me. But once I get to a place here, I need to go from one mile to 1.5 miles, 1 mile to 2 miles, 2 miles to 3 miles, and so on and so forth. In this business, and these are paying attention to the lead indicators. Because again, then you start to get a point where like, dude, I don't even want to. You get to a point where you're like, dude, I can't imagine my day without going to the gym. I can't imagine my day without. Now you're just looking forward to going to the gym. It's not about the results and changing your body. It's just like you're looking forward to going to the gym. You're looking forward to getting in the dialer. Like, dude, I can't wait to market and find my next person that I get to help, and the next person that I get to get under contract. It's like a lion. At some point, the lion is like, dude, I can't wait to find my next hunt. And I think we all seen this in the documentary where lions, if the meal is too easy, they'll give it a head start. Go. I got to chase you. I got to chase you. And that's what makes the beast. You know what I mean? It's just like, if it's too easy, I don't even want it, honestly, because I'm after the actual doing, the actual paying the cost. That's what you're looking for, because that's the real destiny. It's the guy. Because the reason why that's the real destiny is what I'm getting at is the simple fact that the cost is due every day. You owe you, but there will never be a point where you can wake up and be like, all right, I already put in all the work and stuff will just start falling in my lap now. No, You'll get to a point where you done put in so much work that you got so much momentum coming for you. Things start to come and opportunities start to come, and your capacity to execute and capitalize on those opportunities will come that much more easier. You know what I'm saying? So then it was like you might start off with just running a mile, but somebody may say, "Hey, dog, you want to try this CrossFit thing?" Well, I'm a little bit more fit now that I established consistency in running that mile. CrossFit might have killed me a couple months ago before I started running this mile. But now that I got a little bit more cardiovascular strength and everything, my legs are stronger. Let me try it out just to see if that's something I want, you know. And again, now that Byron's established all of this consistency, when an opportunity comes, that is a flip, he can execute on it. You know what I mean? Now we can execute on flips that this opportunity has came our way. Now, if we see an apartment complex, and you know, we might be in a position to grab it, but that's the third step. That's what I take from it when you say make up your mind, you're not going to stop, because there's a level where you got to say, okay, let's get up and take action, and then let's stay consistent with this action. But at some point, you got to remember it was the growth from 0 to 60 that got you somewhere. So don't stop at 60, and don't even, consistency is cool. And if you stayed at 60 all day, you'll still be better than going to 0. But what if you turn it up a notch to 100 and so on and so forth? Don't stop the elevation. Don't stop. Be consistent, but be consistently taking it to the next level as well.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I agree. It's like, but just think about this is like, what happens if you stop running a mile? What happens if you stop eating right? What happens when it stops?
Going
Then
back.
what? You know what I'm saying? You end up back, man. That's why it's like, you know, when things get rough, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been rough in real estate, like for the last year almost. It's like, okay, do you stop? You know what I'm saying? Or do you keep going? Do you stop or do you stay consistent? You know what I'm saying? And there's people that stopping. But it's like, dude, you got to stay consistent. Now you may have to adjust, but you got to make sure you stay consistent. It's just like if, you know, Cordero showed up to the track one day and they had it all locked up and they said, nope, nobody can get on this track. Well, he's just gonna say, well, I guess I just go on back home. Can't run no mile today. You know what I'm saying? But no, you find another way to get the same thing done.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you got to be willing to stay consistent and make adjustments. You can't see the first roadblock and say, well, guess I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's like some people that want to start, you know, getting in real estate. We show them, it's like, well, you got to pay $100. Well, I ain't got $100. I guess I can't go in that direction. You know what I'm saying?
I guess we need to turn back around and go spend $100 out to eat this month. I ain't got $100 in my future though.
That's what I'm saying. It's like you talking about changing your life. You know what I'm saying? If they saying you can't run a mile here, you can say, well, I guess I'm just gonna go home and you know, be unhealthy. I'm just gonna, you know, be the person I don't want to be. I'm just gonna chill. They told me I can't go over here, so I'm gonna go be the person I don't want to be. It's like, no, you cannot let that happen. Like, you have to keep going. I'm not gonna stop. Results or no results. If I go out there and run tomorrow and then boom, I pop up with some results, you still can't stop. You know what I'm saying? It's like some people would get a deal and then they want to chill. Like they want to go spend the money and chill. It's like, no, dude, you still gotta grind. People ask me, it's like, oh, what was happening when you was making this money, or you made this, or when you did all this? It's like, dude, I was getting up and just doing the same thing, grinding day after day, grind, day after day after day after day. It's like, dude, my head was down. My head was down. I was running, right? So I wasn't thinking about, oh, this. I wasn't thinking about, well, I guess I made this. I'm good.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking about none of that. It was just straight. I want to do the same thing over and over and over and over. I'm gonna keep hitting, keep doing the same thing. It's like when Cordero talking about running a mile. It's like, what'd you do after three 3 months of running a mile and you got in the exact shape you wanted to get in. I kept running.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, what do you do when you reach that? You keep going. It's like you don't
Real
stop.
talk.
It's like,
Or
dude,
or it's like eating. It's like you eat and then you won't be like, nah, I ate last week. No, you eat again. It's not, it's you don't ever stop eating. You never stop drinking water. It's a continuous process. And just like your physical form constantly needs to be fed and nourished, your business needs to be fed and nourished. Your spiritual life needs to be fed and nourished. You don't stop. You keep going. It's not a I do it one time and it's over sort of thing. Because most things are like that. You know what I mean? So most things are like it's a never ending process, and that's what I mean when I say it's just like that's the most important thing was you realize that certain things that only you can do, because once you get it, can't nobody take it away from you too. Once you learn how to do this, and only you need to learn how to do this, then nobody will take it away from you, and you can always do it. You just need to switch your mind from okay, I did it. Let's sit back to okay, I do it. Let's do this is what I do, not I did it. It's what I do. James just posted some deals that he got working, just closed another deal. What he's doing, he's talking about growing, adding a new lead manager, a new text manager, and he's growing. He was talking about a deal a week or so ago, a couple weeks ago.
yeah.
You know what I mean? The same way I was just like, I ate yesterday, I'm gonna eat today, I'm gonna eat tomorrow, the next day, and the next day, and the next day. I drank water, I'm gonna continuously do that. It's like you need to realize that it's about getting in this space so that you can do it, not just to say you're here.
Yeah.
That's what the first step was. The taking action was just to break away from that, to say, okay, now I'm here. Now I'm gonna establish consistency on this to get some sort of momentum. And then I'm gonna push it to the next level, the next level, next level.
Because everybody don't get results, man. Everybody don't get results. That's why I say you got to determine that you ain't gonna stop. Because like
Regardless.
some people are gonna get results in 2 weeks. Some people are gonna get results in 2 months. Some people may not get results in 2 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like you set out on different journeys. It's like you may not get results in years, but you got to be willing to. I'm not gonna stop until it happens. You know what I'm saying? Not gonna stop until it happens. So Zay
Yeah,
said I'm
dude.
gonna invest in Mojo Dollar, but my numbers is marked spam. Cordero's the guy for that, man. Tell him what to do, man.
You can invest in Mojo Dollar. I think I've used Mojo Dollar and it works. And I always say, as far as which dialer, just pick the one you like the most and go with it. That's it. I use batch. For one, the batch is the dialer that you choose is for you. It's for the interface that you like to work on. The number, it don't the numbers are first of all, that's a separate topic. You can get spam numbers on Mojo, you can get spam numbers on batch, you can get spam numbers on ZenCall or whatever it's called now. You can get spam, like your numbers can get marked spam. That doesn't indicate, it's not an indication of the quality of the dialer that you picked. So if you like Mojo, then use Mojo. I've used it. I used it for years. I like batch dialer because it's more user friendly, and I just like to use it. I like the interface. I like the black. It's got a dark mode on it, and I like to use that. The number, though, this is a different thing, a different topic. Again, we're probably going to do a whole video on your connection rate and things that you can do to mitigate how often your numbers get marked as spam. Now, here's the thing. Your numbers are going to get marked as spam based upon carriers. That means T-Mobile, Verizon. They mark it. That means you can have a number that's marked as spam by Verizon, but for every other carrier, it's good. I use T-Mobile, but if you call me, it's going to come through as a real number. It's going to be good. But if you call somebody with Verizon like Keithon, you're going to get marked as spam. So it's based upon the carriers and how your numbers are perceived by the carriers. But the number one thing is let's go over some basic points. Because if you're talking about my number, then we need to go over some basic points with this. One, you need to have multiple numbers. As a matter of fact, the more the merrier. Right now, I got 15, I think. I think 15 numbers or 30. I don't know. I got a lot of numbers, but you need to have a lot of numbers. You definitely don't need to be calling with one number. The metric is for every single number that you're dialing out with, then you can call 150 people in a 24-hour period in a day. Right. So if you call in more than 150 people, you need to have more numbers. Matter of fact, even if you're only calling 150 people, you need to have more numbers. No, don't even pay. I wouldn't even say pay attention to that metric. You need to be above that metric. Don't fall below it, but you need a lot more numbers. And you need a lot of numbers. And also, too, the more numbers, the least likely, because you can put them in rotation. And the least likely it's going to look like you're just dialing. It's just going to be able to put in rotation. And so the carriers are not going to mark it as spam. It's just going to look like a regular person's phone. But another thing you can do is the numbers that you have, register them with 10DLC. 10DLC stands for 10-digit long code. It just means that you're registering your 10-digit phone number with the carriers. And whichever dialer that you have, they will have a process by which you can register those numbers. Registering your numbers with the carriers obviously will let your carriers know you're not spam, because you got to tell them what you intend to do with it. So register it and get more phone numbers. You can mitigate that. And honestly, Ali said, might want to try Batch. But if you want to do Mojo if you like it. Do whatever you like. They work the same. I've used Mojo, and I went on a run with Mojo. I was killing things with Mojo, but I like Batch, right? But Ali said, do you guys use Batch? It is best to change the number out every now and then to avoid spam. Again, multiple numbers. Keep your numbers. Add more. You know what I'm saying? Because again, also too, another thing about spam, it's not like your number gets marked as spam and then that's it. It'll get flagged as spam, but that's temporary. It's not just like they flag it as spam and then that number is just completely useless forever. No, it's like it'll get flagged as spam because it's getting used so much, and the carrier is like, what is this number doing? But if you rotate it out, then that number could get back into good standing with that carrier. So I use Batch. And definitely use multiple numbers and register your numbers. Yeah. And shout out to Anita. Hello, Anita.
Shout out to Anita, man, coming through. What's going on, Anita? But yeah, man. So Cordero Beast, cold calling Beast on the dollar, man. Shoot, he was just on the dollar.
Yeah. I was telling Byron this too, man. It's not often that you're gonna lock somebody up off a cold call, but every time I've ever done it, it's the late hours. Now I set a timer for myself, amount of time in a day that I'm going to spend in the dialer, and you can do that in the morning, noon, and at night. I just had some things to do earlier today, so I was just like, this is when I do it at night. I don't always do it at I never go past 8:00, 8 p.m. wherever you're at. I never go past 8 p.m. I think there's some sort of law to that you don't go past. But when I go, sometimes I'll be like, man, from 6 to 8, I can get it in. And that's dude, I'm telling you, a lot, maybe it's just my market, but a lot of heat. I don't always do it, but when I do, I get a lot of traction off these later hours. For sure.
Sure, I definitely can see that. I used to hit some of them later hours when I would get off work and jump in the dollar. So yeah, I definitely see that, man. But shoot, man, we've been on here for about an hour, man. We came and brought it to y'all. We'll be back tomorrow. I should be back in my office tomorrow, man. So I should have better lighting, better audio. And we're gonna be maybe we can jump in there in time to make some live calls, man. So I'm looking forward to that. Back on the grind, man. But yeah, man, we just closed the deal. I think we're gonna make a video about that. Just closed the deal, man. So I got another closing coming up this week.
Y'all know how Byron get down. He got a couple closings. Y'all know how he get down.
Yeah, man. You stupid, man. Hey, we finna hit this Facebook ads, and we finna show up be bagging them. But shoot, man. But we finna jump out of this thing. Appreciate y'all coming through, man. All the people, Ali, Zay, James, Anita, always through.
Coming through, man.
John Doe, what's up, man? Coming through.
What market
do what that?
I always thought we didn't touch Kamlin's question of what marketing we do. We touched that, dog, and we're gonna go a little bit more
Yeah,
in depth. We get deeper off into Facebook marketing, PPC, and just the more marketing channels that we add on. Well, we'll definitely share. We'll share as time goes on, for sure.
yeah, for sure, man. But man, appreciate y'all coming through. You watch this on the replay, man. Comment below. Let us know how you like what we got going on. But people that's here, man, make sure y'all like and subscribe, man. All the other good stuff, man. Share our shorts and stuff that y'all be seeing on IG. I know y'all see us. So go ahead and share that stuff, man. But
Yeah.
till tomorrow, man. Peace out.